Well, it looks like Twitter cops, Twitter activists are once again offended and angry at One Piece. This time they're not seething about Yamato being a woman. It's actually a specific casting choice for the live action adaptation that has them all upset. Allow me to give you the context and show you what's going on. One Piece Netflix says, introducing Baroque Works' most dangerous duo, Mr. O and Miss All Sunday. With power cloaked in mystery and intentions hidden behind ominous smiles, these two will stop at nothing. And if you direct your attention to the bottom left, you can see the actress Lara Abova. Now, before we get to all the outrage, you need to know this. Lara Abova is a Russian actress and model. She grew up in the village of Slavgorod in Siberia. According to her, the village is so small they don't have it on the map. However, when she was 13, she moved to Germany. Now, the part that's got Twitter cops all angry is that she was born in Russia. Apparently, these people hate anyone who was simply born in Russia. And regarding Lara, as mentioned, she spent more than half her life living in Germany, having moved there at age 13. And that takes us back to Twitter. We've now got an influx of tweets like this. 21 injured, including 3 children in Kharkiv today, but Netflix is letting an actress whose country is currently committing a genocide play character that's literally a survivor of a genocide. Real Nico Robin would hate this. That tweet getting over 3,800 likes. This response reading, Robin was attacked because she was blamed for the sins of her country even though she was only 12 years old and had nothing to do with their political decisions. That's a pretty huge part of her story, no? Someone else mentioning how Lara left Russia at age 13, saying her story is literally almost identical to Robin's. And someone else says, I can't believe I'm watching this unfold in real time. Many other responses would also defend Lara. Here's a few more examples. However, there's also still a lot of hate. And for the record, I'm not going to be showing anywhere near all of it in this video. And as you can see in that example, this person even mentions how there's so many hate posts like the one we just read, and that it's sad. We've got someone here who claims to be a member of the Parliament of Ukraine. And they actually make a tweet about this situation, saying, casting a Russian actress as Nico Robin in the popular show #One Piece, whose family was killed by terror, feels particularly inappropriate given Russia's current role as a terrorist state. There's still time to fix this at Netflix. That tweet getting over 5,500 likes. He would then go on and say, all of this. Russians are killing thousands literally for existing, not Putin personally or government, ordinary Russians. They kill actors, children, One Piece fans, everyone. Has anyone among you been tweeting about this? There are many One Piece fans in Ukraine, and during a real genocide, do you understand how they feel watching a Russian actress in this role? We are simply asking to change the cast. Instead of empathy, you criticize us for being hurt and wish harm upon me. Are these the values you've taken from One Piece? Do you get the point? A Russian actress could use her voice to condemn the killings. Did she, or is she silent like most anti-war Russians, playing the victim now and on screen? Ukraine has seen this before. First, anti-war Russian actors, often with Ukrainian passports, were pushed on us. Then tanks followed. For years, we were convinced that Russians were part of our cultural space and brothers, spreading their narratives through films, music, and TV. Russophobia is self-defense, not xenophobia. In the immediate responses, people would say things like this. Your point means nothing. It's a role in a show. She's a model and actress, not a politician. She hardly has any social media posts in the last 20 years. Harassing a person because ethnicity. Did this what you learned from One Piece? You're referring to soldiers who are fighting a war, so could you just stop pushing your politics into everything? She literally moved to Germany as a child. She has nothing to do with the war. He would also further argue with people in the responses. For example, this tweet said, Nico Robin is literally a Russian. If you knew anything about One Piece, then you would know that. And he says, I even know where she came from and how canonical it is. So I didn't even want to respond to such similar comments. And including this image, one that many people are likely already familiar with. Reader saying, hello Oda, I have a question. If One Piece took place in the real world, where would each of the 9 Straw Hats be from? Signed Michael Jackson's brother. Oda saying, well, here's the image I have. And as for Robin, you can see in the parentheses there, says Russia. Here's a tweet with over 7,800 likes, where this person seems to have made art that essentially accuses Lara of being a terrorist. Once again, also an example where someone defends her though in the responses, saying, Robin is Russian, so they got a Russian actress to play her. Not every Russian is evil, and it's not a crime to exist, like One Piece always preaches about. Maybe listen to the show's morals that you worship. I mean, that said, I doubt this person worships One Piece. If anything, they're probably a tourist. Here's a meme of sorts that a lot of these hate accounts seem to all be sharing around. Conversely, a defense tweet would read, you're not welcome in the One Piece community. Hating someone just because of their ethnicity is not what Luffy is teaching us. they'd get a response from that person in Ukrainian, and there's a translation via DeepL of what that response seems to translate to. Here's another tweet with over 5,400 likes, once again translated from Ukrainian to English via DeepL, where this person seems to lament the casting choice and also demand a boycott of Netflix. Few more examples here with hashtag boycott Netflix. This one saying, "You are a disappointment." Another one saying, "Canceled my subscription because of her. You should be ashamed of this choice." And this one saying, "Lara Abova supports the genocidal imperial war on my country by upholding the fascist pro-Putin status quo. She's a propaganda tool who is supposed to portray a genocide survivor in One Piece. At Netflix keeps paying Zionists and fascists. Cancel your subscription." In the responses, we can see someone ask, "Can you tell me exactly how she is supporting the war?" And someone else saying, "You won't get an answer. So far as of recording, there has not been an answer." The initial tweet was also made 14 hours ago. Those responses from 13 hours ago. So it does seem at least somewhat likely that the OP would have seen that question. We'll go over just a few more examples of this stuff. Of course, by all means, if you want to see more of this entire situation, you can easily find all of this stuff over on Twitter. For now, here's a few more like I said. This tweet reading, "A Russian has no right to play Nico Robin. That is immoral at its finest. Nico having her home shelled, her relatives slaughtered, cannot be represented by a person whose government, friends, relatives do the same to Ukrainian children. Shame on you." A person defending her in the responses saying, "How do I say this? She hasn't been in Russia since 2005 and no longer has a Russian passport either." The OP not having it saying, "Have you read my tweet? Russians do not have a right to be promoted. She spoke nothing of what her government's doing. This woman and her grandkid were killed today in their own home, ordinary people. Now tell me how a person from Russia who condemned nothing can be Robin." And lastly, we've got this one. Reads, "It's shocking to see a Russian actress cast at Netflix. Nico Robin was a survivor of genocide. Casting an actress from a country committing genocide is a monstrous decision. Collective responsibility exists. Rejecting it is as absurd as denying post-World War II German collective guilt." As for Lara herself, there is a video that Netflix posted where you can see her celebrating how she got cast as Nico Robin. I'd like to play that brief portion in this video. However, considering that's Netflix, and you know how copyright happy some of these corpos can be, I think it's better to not play with fire. The clip does come from a 2-hour and 15-minute long live stream that Netflix actually hosted here on YouTube. And what I can do for you guys, though, for those who are curious, I'll link to that live stream in the description of this video, and I'll link exactly to the timestamp where Lara comes on stage and talks about all that stuff. So that way you won't have to sit through the entire 2-hour plus live stream if you're not interested in the rest of that. And of course, if you are, well, you'll be at the live stream anyway, so you can see the whole thing if you want. As for this video, that's where we'll be concluding this one. As always, thank you so much for tuning in, and let me know what you think about this whole situation in the comments. Also, if you enjoyed my coverage, please consider liking and or subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one.